Hello and welcome back to Full Count. This episode is about the Chicago White Sox. I've been ranking the teams from 30 to 1. And yes, I know I have the Sox a little higher than most people do. Um, but man, I like the lineup a lot. And we'll get into that. And obviously, I think the AL Central is a little weak. So that's why I have them higher than, like the last episode, Tampa Bay Rays. Tampa Bay has a lot better roster than the White Sox, but they're in the AL East. The White Sox are in the AL Central. That's just the matter of it. So I think the Sox could maybe eclipse more wins than them, but maybe not. We'll see when after I look over this team. Shout out Ruddy and Michael, probably the only people watching this video. So shout out you guys. We're gonna get into this lineup, and I'm gonna talk about your team. I will preface this with saying, if you are watching and you're not Michael or Ruddy, you don't know that I'm a Cubs fan. I'm just going to throw that out there. I'm a Cubs fan. But the Sox are my second favorite team. I have an AL team, I have an NL team. If they're playing each other, it's Cubs all day. I hate the Sox. All that. I'm a Cubs fan. Just making that clear. So take everything with a grain of salt. But that being said, they're my second favorite team, so also take everything with a grain of salt because I'm probably higher on them than I should be. That being said, let's get into it with this lineup. Second baseman Chase Meidroth will be leading off for them, at least in this projected lineup. Chase is a guy that I've hated on him in the past, I'm not going to lie. That being said, he's the exact type of baseball player that I love and want to support. I just think Sox fans are way too high on him. There's just something I don't really like about him. That being said, I do want to root for him because I like contact guys, and Chase Meidroth does that. He doesn't chase, he doesn't whiff, he doesn't strike out. He's a good fielder as well. So those are all things that I love. Now, here's why I think White Sox fans need to slow down on Chase Meidroth. He's supposed to be an elite contact guy, which for me that means hit for a high average. He doesn't do that. Last season in 122 games, he had 253 with a 329 on base and a 320 slug for a 649 OPS. He had 5 homers and 15 doubles. Like, he just didn't produce at all. I have to mention the limited pop as well, just because it's worth noting. Second percentile in barrel percentage, 4th in bat speed, 4th in expected slug. Those are pretty glaringly bad. I like Chase, and I think he can be on a lineup of a contending team. But he's absolutely not a leadoff hitter on a contending team. More of a 9-hole, 8-hole guy, in my opinion. But that's enough on Chase. Let's move to the 2-hole. Kyle Teel, catching. I love Kyle Teel so much. I think he's just so good. The White Sox have such an incredible young catching duo with him and Caro. He didn't grade out well behind the plate last season, but it's not really what I'm concerned with here. Kyle has a great bat, and he's only 24 years old. He was a stud at Virginia, and he's going to be a stud in the big leagues. The guy just rakes. He takes his walks. He doesn't chase a lot, and he seems to be on the barrel a good amount every time I watch. Last year in 78 games, Kyle hit 273 with a 375 on base and a 411 slug for a 786 OPS. Those are some elite hitting numbers for the catching position. He also hit 8 homers and 11 doubles in the 78 games. So you double that if you play about 160, whatever. Obviously, that's 16 homers and 22 doubles. Pretty good numbers for the catcher position. So I like him. And when he's not catching, he should absolutely be the DH. He needs to be an everyday guy in this lineup. I'm going to say he hits 20 homers this year, 20 doubles, and the batting average is going to be a little lower, I think, than that 273 number, maybe around like 260. But yeah, that's great production in your 2-hole. That's great catcher. Love Kyle Teel. Now at shortstop, Colson Montgomery in the 3-hole. Colson Montgomery is so good at baseball. I'm going to completely glaze him this whole time. It's not even funny. He accumulated 3.3 WAR in 71 games. If he plays a full season, that's obviously 6+ WAR. And so that's awesome. That's ridiculous for a guy that's only 24 years old. He hit 21 homers in 71 games. He got sent down to rookie ball last year, worked with the White Sox hitting coach, and clearly they found something. This guy was a top prospect in the organization. he was struggling so much that they sent him down to rookie ball to work on his swing. Like that would be damaging for anybody mentally, anybody except Colson Montgomery. Like he took this and he found something clearly and just went nuts. He got called up and just didn't skip a beat. Like he just balled out. He graded well in the field also last year. Like I don't know. He barrels the ball. He has elite bat speed. Yes, he does strike out a lot, but he just slugs so much and he's so good in the field that like that's obviously valuable in the MLB, especially at the shortstop position. Colson's a dog, and everyone watching this video already knows that. Anybody who's a Sox fan clicked on this video, they know that. He's the best player on this team. He has the highest ceiling on this team. He's so good. I love some Colson Montgomery. Really good player. In the 4 hole, you got Munetaka Murakami. Probably said that wrong. Munetaka Murakami, whatever. This guy's going to slug. He's going to slug. It's always hard to evaluate guys coming from overseas. Like, we'll get to Anthony Kay later. He's coming from overseas. But yeah, Murakami's a career 550 slug guy in professional baseball over in Japan, which is, he started at 18 years old. So, like, 550 slug is just insane. Last season, he hit 286 with a 392 on base and a 659 slug for 1,051 OPS. Just absolutely ridiculous numbers. He hit 24 homers in 69 games. Like, that's absolutely ridiculous. We'll just see how it translates. I think he'll strike out a lot, but at the end of the day, baseball's baseball, and he's going to slug. I have no doubt about it. I don't have much else to add just because there isn't a whole lot of data. I'm sure there is if I really dug deep, but I'm not that into it. So, but I think throwing some money on him winning the AL Rookie of the Year might just be worth it if you're a gambling man. Like, I seriously think he's going to hit 30 homers. So, really good pickup for the Sox. Glad they finally were able to land somebody like that. It's really fun for the fans. In the 5 hole, you got third baseman Miguel Vargas. Miguel finally had a good year of baseball in the big leagues last season. He hit 234 with a 316 on base and a 401 slug for a 717 OPS. Okay, I said a good year of baseball, but like I just mean like he had a major league season. Like he was, I don't know. He was exactly average in the OPS department. The OPS plus was 100, making him the average MLB hitter. He hit 16 homers and 32 doubles in 138 games. He was really impressive in the contact department, which I can't say I really expected. He didn't strike out a lot, didn't whiff, didn't chase at all. Took his walks, squared the ball up a lot. Like, he was pretty solid. The one thing I'll say about him, he's pretty awful in the field at third base. And if it wasn't for 2 great options at catcher, there would be a little more positional flexibility here, and maybe Miguel would be at DH. So, yeah. But no, he had a really good year, and he was finally an average major leaguer, and I think that's important and was a big step for him. And I think he has a lot more in the power department, just like waiting to come out. So I like Miguel. Do I want him in my 5 hole? Probably not, just with the questions. But he can do it. In the 6th hole, you got left fielder Andrew Benintendi. I actually like Benny. Obviously, he's terrible in the field. Everyone knows that, but he's going to hit right around 20 homers, and he's going to hit about 240. He's just a very average big league hitter. I can't say I expect any more than that. I feel like he's kind of like that's his peak is 20 and 240, like what he did last year. That being said, he'll definitely have more lineup protection this year, I feel like, than he's gotten in the past for the White Sox. So maybe there's going to be an uptick in his production. But I think as long as he keeps breathing, like as long as Andrew Benintendi's breathing, he's going to play terrible defense, and he's going to be a slightly above average bat. That's just what he does. That's what he is. And that's fine, especially for the team like this. Like, we'll take that. And then in the 7th hole, you got right fielder Austin Hayes. Such an underrated pickup for the White Sox this offseason. Last year, Austin hit 266 with a 315 on base and a 453 slug for a 768 OPS. Really good. He hit 15 homers and 16 doubles in 103 games. Spring training doesn't matter, but he's been balling from what I've seen in spring training. So all the fancy expected stats don't like him. but I prefer looking at the production, and he did produce last year. That's what he did. He's a solid big leaguer. The defense is pretty average as well. I like this addition for the Sox. I really do. It's underrated pickup that they had. Their whole offseason was pretty underrated, but they still got a long way to go, and we'll get to that when the pitching comes around. In the A-hole, you got center fielder Brooks Baldwin. This is probably the one guy that I just don't like at all on this team. If I was the White Sox, I'd try to find a way to get Lenyn Sosa, however to say it, in the lineup every day. Because in my opinion, I think you could argue that Sosa was the best hitter on the team. And Sox fans hate him for some reason. I know he's terrible in the field, but I think maybe you could put Sosa at third and teach Vargas to play outfield since Vargas already has no value in the field at third. But anyway, like I'm just trying to come up with a replacement for Brooks Baldwin because I don't like him at all. I don't think he's good. But he did hit 15 doubles and 11 homers in the 103 games that he played last year, which is fun, I guess. 290 on base is not good. You don't want that. I just don't like Brooks Baldwin, but I hope he proves me wrong. And I got an argument with Sox fans. I thought it was ridiculous. This guy was trying to argue that Brooks Baldwin's better than Matt Shaw. Maybe that's my Cubs bias, but I looked into it. Matt Shaw's definitely better. Brooks Baldwin was a negative WAR player last year. Like, let's not act like he's anywhere near Matt Shaw. And Matt Shaw was bad last year. Like, I'm not acting like he's good. I just think Brooks Baldwin's that bad. And Matt Shaw, like, whatever. Save that for the Cubs episode. But his upside's way bigger than Brooks Baldwin's. And I don't think that's bias. I think Brooks Baldwin's he's never done it in the minors. He's never done it in the majors. It's just nothing I like there. I do think he's going to play good defense in center field, though. But graded out terribly last year, so who knows? So, yeah. Find a way to get Lenyn Sosa in the lineup over Brooks Baldwin somehow. Some sort of lineup configuration. Somebody's got to be able to move the outfield and figure that out. Maybe Lenyn Sosa just moves the outfield. All right. That was my Brooks Baldwin rant. Now in the 9-hole, you got Edgar Quero, DH. I love Edgar Quero, as you guys already know. I've been saying it back when I was talking about Cal Teal. He squares the ball up, doesn't really chase, he doesn't whiff, doesn't strike out, doesn't hit for a lot of power, but I don't care. Like, not every guy needs to hit for pop. Like I said with Chase Maedroff, he doesn't need to hit for pop. I want him to hit for average. And this is a guy that had a better average than Chase Maedroff, who everybody's raving about. So 111 games, Edgar Quero hit 268 with a 333 on base, 356 slug for a 689 OPS, which isn't great, but I'm not really worried about it. He's only 22 years old. He's gonna figure it out. Yeah, and I like him behind the plate. I think he's pretty solid back there. Watched him in spring training. He looks confident in his throws down to bases, which I like. So yeah, I like Edgar. He's a good player. Couple bench guys. I already mentioned Lenyn Sosa. I mean, I think he was literally their best hitter last year, and I don't know why he's not in this projected lineup. Sox fans, you got to let me know in the comments why he's not in the lineup. Because, I mean, I'm going to pull it up real quick, but I feel like he produced last year a lot better than most of these guys. I know his on base is terrible, I'm aware. But he hit 264 with 22 homers, more than Colson Montgomery. Obviously, a lot more games. But I'm just saying, produced the most on the White Sox. 20 doubles. I get the strikeout numbers are pretty high. Let me look at one more thing here. Because I don't understand why he's not in this roster. So, yeah. Baseball Savant does not like him either. But he produced last year. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand. White Sox fans, please explain to me that in the comments. Lenyn Sosa should be in this lineup. And then Luis Angel Cunha. Probably botched that, but yeah, he's a good player. He's shown some sparks, and obviously he's the brother of a of an absolute star in this league. So maybe he's going to learn something from him, and yeah, he could be a really good player. Now this is where the team really worries me. The starting pitching has all sorts of question marks all over it. So we'll just get right into it. In the one hole, you got Shane Smith. This is the only guy I like in the rotation, quite frankly. What a rookie season for Shane Smith. He was an all-star and finished ninth in Rookie of the Year voting. Threw 146 innings with a 3.81 ERA. His fastball is 99th percentile in run value. Like, the thing is nasty. He doesn't really get barreled up. People whiff his stuff a lot. His heater runs up there, and it has a lot of run on it. Like, he threw some inside balls to lefties starting at the hip and to run right in. A little two-seam action. Really like him. He throws gas. Shane Smith's really good. I like his delivery. Just power pitcher. Like, he's gonna throw right at you. Maybe Jake Peavy reminiscent on this guy. So I like him a lot. Not that Jake Peavy was like a power pitcher, but anyways, in the 2-hole, Davis Martin. Davis Martin he probably had the best year of his short career last season. He threw 142 innings with a 4.10 ERA. He gets a good amount of grounders. He's a pretty average pitcher, but all the advanced and expected stats really don't like him. He's 11th percentile in exit velo against him, obviously. 13th in strikeout percentage, 9th in expected batting average against, 17th in hard hit rate, 24th in barrel percentage, like all pretty whopping low. I think he's solid, though. I shouldn't, but I think he's just an average major league pitcher, and I think that's fine. But you probably don't want him in your number 2 spot in the rotation. That's the only thing there. But Davis Martin can still figure it out. He's like I said, I think it was only his 3rd year in the majors last year, so he can figure it out. My throat is getting dry. Ugh. All right. Getting to the 3-hole, Sean Burke. Sean Burke was decent last year. Just about an average major league starter. He threw 134 innings, which is pretty low, but at a 4.22 ERA in those innings. He has really good extension as he's 6'6", I believe. He was 94th percentile in extension, so really gets it out there. He walked too many guys last year, gave up a lot of barrels as well, and too many balls in the air. I actually really like his pitch profile, so I think he can be fine. He just needs to limit the walks and maybe switch up the pitch mix. I'm not sure, but he has a decent fastball, though, and it plays even faster with the extension that he gets. So I think there's a good pitcher in there. He just needs to unlock it, and we'll see if he can do that this year. I don't have much else on him, though. In the 4-hole, Anthony Kay. This guy balled out overseas last year. He threw 155 innings and had a 1.74 ERA. Disgusting. But it's always hard to see how these type of guys will adjust when they come back to the majors. I think he could be solid, though. I think he could have found something there. Some guys just find something, come back, and they ball out. Back when he was in the majors, he wasn't all that good, that's for sure. I will say he had a decently fast fastball for a lefty, which is always good, but he walked too many guys and didn't get a lot of swing and miss at all. But it'll be interesting to see how Anthony Kay does this year. I think there's a decently high upside in the 4 spot here, which I like, obviously. Worst case scenario, I think you've got some high-level pitching prospects, like a.k.a. Noah Schultz, that could come up and replace him if he figures it out. So I like Anthony Kay. I don't think it's too risky here. You got guys that you could fill in from AAA if he's really just a disaster. But I don't think he will be. So we'll see. Another guy, God, what happened to Drew Thorpe? That guy's changeup was disgusting. Didn't see him. Maybe he's injured. I think he is injured. Because he's a guy that could fill in as well, I think. Anyways, the 5 spot, Erick Fedde. I really like Erick Fedde as the number 5 in the rotation. I like the upside in the 5 spot for him for sure. He doesn't have blow you away stuff, but he's done it in this league before. Like he's a guy like Anthony Kay who the White Sox took a chance on making a comeback back in 2024. Fetty came from Korea, and yeah, he just dominated in 2024. He threw 177 innings with a 3.30 ERA. I believe the ERA was better with the White Sox. Like I want to say 3.11. And then he went to the Cardinals and it went up a little bit, but still, yeah, that's a great year. 177 innings. So he bounced around last year a ton. He was pretty bad. I'm not even going to mention the stats from last year, but just hopefully he finds some more White Sox magic like he did prior. Can't say I expect much from Eric this year, though, but obviously we'll have to see. We'll just have to wait and see. I like Eric Fetty and definitely want to root for him here. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. Bullpen, this is where I think this team added the most wins to their roster. Adding Seranthony Dominguez and Jordan Hicks, I think they're going to find something out of Jordan Hicks. I really like that signing with the upside. Mike Vasil or Vasil, I think it's Vasil. I think he might be one of the most underrated players on this entire White Sox team. Like he's a really good reliever. Just looking into it. So yeah, I mean I had Mike. I did a ranking for Chicago White Sox players last year. I think Mike was top 3 White Sox. I think he was a top 3 White Sox. I believe it was Colson. Oh, he might have been 4 because I think I was big on Lenyn Sosa. But anyways, he was a top 5 White Sox last year. Reliever Mike Vasil, whatever it is. He's really good. And then obviously Seranthony Dominguez is a guy who's done it in this league. That's a great addition for them. So yeah, underrated offseason for the White Sox. They finally did some stuff. Now, here's why I say I have them very high. The previous episode I did for the Tampa Bay Rays, their over-under was 77.5 wins. This White Sox team's over-under is 67.5 wins, so 10 wins worse than the Tampa Bay Rays, who I had ranked lower than them. The reason I did it this way is because I think people are too high on the Guardians. I get that they always overperform, but and I know I haven't ranked them yet, but I'll probably be taking their under, whatever it is. So, I mean, their roster is just so bad. It's actually so bad. But they are the Guardians, so they'll probably get around 80 wins, probably end up winning the division somehow. But no, Guardians around 80. I think Royals right around 80, so it's not like they're leaving wins open for the White Sox. The Twins are obviously, I think they could be one of the worst teams in the league this year, but they have some good pitching. I'm not high. I don't know. Tigers are going to be really good. I think Tigers are going to be really good. But I think 70 wins is pretty easily attainable for the White Sox. So the over-under being at 67.5 is something that I don't even need to think about, and I'm definitely going over on it. I think in the AL Central getting 70 wins. I mean, there's some teams that got 70 wins last year that were a total joke. Like, I think the Angels got 71 wins last year. They were pretty bad. I mean, I know they have some dudes and Zach Neto and whoever the hell else, Logan O'Hoppe, whatever. Actually, he was pretty bad last year, but not the point. So, I don't know. Some teams that got 71. I'm just going to check. Okay, the Orioles had a nightmare season last year. They won 75 games. Not that it really matters. The Twins won 70 games last year. They were so bad. So Angels won 72. The A's won 76. The A's have a crazy lineup, though. The Braves had a nightmare season, 76 wins. The Marlins, on paper, had the lowest over-under in the league, I believe, last year. It was either them or the Sox or the Rockies. And they won 79 games, so that could happen for the Sox, just a little sneak. The Pirates won 71 games last year. Like, they could do it. They could do it. So, yeah, I think this is an easy over for me. I think they could get third in the division. I think that's possible if one of those other teams just really underperforms their projections. But, yeah, I mean, the AL Central's every division's good. There's all good teams in all these. I mean, you look at all these divisions, but there's probably no denying that the AL Central is the worst division in baseball, and that's why I think the Sox got a shot. Is there a world where the Sox make the playoffs? Yes, there's a world. Everything has to go right. You maybe call up Noah Schultz and he's like a Rookie of the Year candidate. Braden Montgomery calls up Rookie of the Year candidate. That's a guy who should replace Brooks Baldwin. Don't know why I didn't mention him. Braden Montgomery's a stud. But really nice young core here. I think you're a year or two out from this being an easy AL Central contender. So White Sox have a bright future. Michael or Ruddy, if you actually stayed to this point, text me banana. I don't know. I just want to know if you made it. That'd be awesome. But yeah, guys, I'm taking the over pretty easily. Thank you for watching. White Sox, pretty nasty. Well, not nasty, but they're good. I like the White Sox. Stay tuned for who I have at number 22. Probably come out in the next couple days. So stay tuned. I appreciate you watching. Thanks for watching. Use the code also, Guy Sports. $20 off your first purchase. And yeah, if you've used SeatGeek before, create a new account. I know you got other emails, so just use it and support us, support me, whatever. And yeah, so that is the White Sox episode. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for the future episodes. I appreciate it. Go Sox. Peace.